RPV City founder Ken Dyda is once again the mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes. On December 1st, RPV's City Council reorganized and selected Dyda to serve as mayor and Brian Campbell as mayor pro tem. Dyda served on RPV's first City Council in 1973. Here's more.
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work with the other colleagues on the council. I'm looking for new things like every new council does when it gets started. And we're going to move forward and make this a better city than it has ever been before.
In November, Dyda, along with incumbents Susan Brooks and Jerry DeHovic, were elected back on the council, unseating outgoing mayor Jim Knight. Knight was recognized at the December 1st council meeting for his many years of service to the community. Lomita Sheriff's Station is celebrating 40 years of serving the community. Liz Brown-Swanson has more on the milestone.
40 years ago, the Lomita Sheriff's Station opened its doors on Narbonne Avenue.
We've responded to almost 700,000 calls for service in our 40 years and driven nearly 20 million miles during our policing.
The station's 40th milestone brought law enforcement, local leaders, and members of the community together to celebrate 4 decades of service.
They serve our community very well. We've had excellent service from them. We live in a very safe community, but we have to keep vigilant because it could go the other way, and we've had some incidents like that. The response time of the sheriffs has been fantastic.
Just thankful to the community for their partnership in helping to keep this whole community safe. We're very fortunate to be able to have this station here now for 40 years, and we really value the partnerships that we have. Policing is a team sport, and we only can be successful if we do it together.
This is a unique station with unique people because they care so much about the communities, and not that our other stations don't, but when you walk in here, it's friendly.
Officers past and present enjoyed reuniting and traveling down memory lane. This deputy remembers being one of the first hired here.
That was actually 1975. It's a brand new station that was opening. One of the funny things about being here, they didn't make any maps of Rolling Hills Estates, or Rancho Palos Verdes that showed us anything. A lot of times we'd go out and we'd run on a call, we'd hit a dead end. We'd go, where's the rest of the road? So it was a biggest learning experience was trying to figure out the streets.
We have grown the contract over the years. We've added SAT detectives, core team deputies, traffic deputies, and we've also become innovative in ways in which we police the peninsula with Polaris vehicles, off-road vehicles, all-terrain vehicles that we need in order to patrol the trails and the vast expanse of the unique topography we have here.
What's it like to work at this station for you?
I think it's really great. I get along with everybody really well. It's pretty, and it was pretty quick to come out to patrol, which is why I picked it, and now everything's working out good. So.
And for you, Sergeant?
I just love working for Lomita. Our captain is great. Everyone here is great. And I love the city. The community is just great. So we're here just having a great time at our 40th anniversary.
Of course, the whole team is here, from the posse to the many volunteers. This is an amazing reunion, a way to thank all the men and women who serve at Lomita. And we're looking forward to the next 40 years. I'm Liz Brown-Swanson reporting for RPV TV.
The Bob Hope USO at LAX cares for our military as they travel to and from different parts of the world. This very special home away from home is all volunteer run, and they're looking for more help. I had the great honor to visit the USO Center, and here's a glimpse of the great work that these people do on a daily basis.
Typical day. Wow. It changes so drastically, but basically it's just prepping for the arrival of them on Tuesdays in particular. We do get a count generally 24 hours before. We have a special volunteer that follows up with the 29 Palms and Camp Pendleton to get the exact head count that's coming. Then we send it on out to all the volunteers to prep them. I order barbecue the night before because we do get people hosting it for us, and just prepping for the day, making sure everything is stocked, that we've got plenty of food, that the place is clean, and just getting everybody ready to accept them here. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of amazing because these guys do so much for us, and they're so appreciative of the fact that they get to come to a place that feels like home to them. Talk about that.
Well, the first part of it, though, is what you said is they're so appreciative. They are actually stunned that we are volunteering. They find that amazing. And here we are saying, but you're volunteering for something far greater. So that gratitude, you will never get such gratitude going around like in a circle back and forth with what they do. And it's just, it's very hard to describe. I consider it an honor and a privilege that I get to be here in that environment and just show some sort of gratitude to them. And I know all the volunteers here. It's just, it's your favorite part of the day. And for me, like I said, I get to do it every day, so it's even better.
Well, as United States Marines, coming into a USO, it's really great to have random volunteers welcoming you with open arms, basically having a home away from home. You're tired, you're hungry, and you need a place to stay, and this is the first place that they send you to. And you walk in and you can smell the food. It smells great. There's video games, there's TV, and whatever you may need, it's all here, and it's all at your discretion. It's great to just have people here that are your friends, and it's just really great. The volunteers are amazing.
I got started in May of 2007, and I was looking for something to occupy my time, and I saw an article in the Daily Breeze, and the USO had just gone 24/7, and they were looking for volunteers to help staff the facility at night. And so it sounded interesting, so I called, and I started. I did a weekly 4-hour shift like everybody does. And the woman who was in charge of finding the volunteers asked if I could help. My background is in personnel, and I enjoy finding people jobs. So this is finding people jobs, except they don't get paid.
We want to talk about the fact that this is almost 100% volunteer run. How do we get people involved that want to come here and volunteer? Tell us what the process is.
Well, the best process is they can either come in if they'd like and get an application.
And you can see more about the USO at LAX on our next Around the Peninsula show. Check your local listings for dates and times. And when we come back, what happens when nature, art, and Legos collide? You'll find out coming up next.
You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 110 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 600% increase in the last 20 years. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
An award-winning art exhibit made entirely of Legos is coming soon to the South Coast Botanic Garden. The one-of-a-kind exhibit uses larger-than-life Lego sculptures to connect the community to nature. Liz Brown-Swanson joins us from the garden with a sneak preview of the show arriving in February.
The countdown is on for the Nature Connects Lego art exhibit to open at the South Coast Botanic Garden, and these families can't wait.
So this is our Nature Connects launch exhibit, and this is basically rolling out what's going to be here really soon in February, so we're really excited to bring it into the garden.
We wanted to find a way for people to connect even more with the garden and with nature, and we thought what a perfect way to show them nature in big 3D effect than to have larger-than-life sculptures made out of Legos. The exhibit has been at different gardens and arboreta throughout the country. It's making its only California stop here at South Coast Botanic Gardens. So you have to make sure to see it between February and May 2016. And we're excited because the artist for this was one of the first master certified Lego professionals.
15 nature-themed sculptures made from 500,000 Lego bricks will transform the landscape.
We're excited about a piece that is the hummingbird. The hummingbird stands over 6 feet tall, which is great. The hummingbird is emblematic of South Coast Botanic Gardens, so we thought what a perfect tie-in to our place here. But there are other things coming, like the butterfly, the dragonfly, which technically measures as the largest, and the bison and calf, which measures as the heaviest at 626 pounds.
I love the garden. I really want a lot of people to see it, so I'm excited about the exhibit coming, just for more people to come and see the garden and support it.
Many people don't know that South Coast Botanic Garden is a nonprofit organization. There are 87 acres of things to enjoy here at South Coast Botanic Garden. And not just the garden itself and not just the nature and the wildlife, but we have programming year-round for adults, for families, and for kids.
What do you think about the Legos that are going to come here in these exhibits?
I think it's going to be a new experience. I think it's going to be really fun.
The Lego brick just holds such beloved type of feel to it, and people really love that, and that passive learning is a really important part of what makes the Legos an important vessel, and it's of course the most exciting thing in a 6-year-old's life, and it continues all the way through adulthood.
I could build whatever I want and get my imagination going.
And do you use your imagination a lot when you come to the garden?
Yes.
There's so much excitement building here for the Nature Connects exhibit to arrive on February 19th. But come on down before then. There's lots going on here all year round. The only day they're closed is Christmas Day, and I suspect a lot of these kids are going to be asking for Legos this holiday. I'm Liz Brown Swanson reporting for RPV TV.
The Nature Connects exhibit runs February 19th through May the 8th. On December 26th, the garden will announce the theme for a Lego building contest for all ages. To find out about the contest and the upcoming exhibit, you can go to southcoastbotanic.org. Members of the Palos Verdes Historical Society rolled out the red carpet at a gala fundraiser at the Norris. A sellout crowd packed the Norris Theater to be the first to watch a newly released documentary about the peninsula's famous founder, Frank Vanderlip. Liz Brown Swanson joins us from the red carpet with the story.
It was showtime at the Norris Theater. A documentary about the peninsula's famous founder, Frank Vanderlip, debuted on the big screen before a sellout crowd at a gala fundraiser to benefit the Palos Verdes Historical Society.
This is long overdue. I always felt that Mr. Vanderlip never got his recognition here on the Hill. I always felt like if you ever asked anybody about the Vanderlips, they could give you two answers: the haunted house and the man who bought the hill. Well, they really don't know his whole role in history. His role in history is about the Federal Reserve, his contribution to banking, and his visions of Palos Verdes, what he wanted to do.
He was president of the country's largest bank, which is a long way to come from a poor farm. And he was a very brilliant man. People a lot of times think all bankers are bad. And Frank was a really great guy in many, many ways. And it was so much fun making the show.
Local authors Vicki Mack and Don Christie spent 2 years producing the documentary film called The Moneyman, Frank Vanderlip and the Birth of the Federal Reserve.
How many times do we hear the Fed, the Fed, the Fed? Well, that's the Federal Reserve System, and that was what Frank Vanderlip was responsible for creating.
I want to thank Vicki Mack and Don Christie. They've taught me so much, and they love the community, and it's so exciting because I think it's a great community-spirited event, and I think everyone here in their heart really loves Palos Verdes.
I'm so excited. I'm very excited. Especially I hear there's a red carpet we get to walk down.
You got to play Frank Vanderlip as a 16-year-old. What was that like? What did you do?
It was very exciting, and it was one of my first opportunities.
Among the cast of characters attending the film's premiere were Vanderlip's grandchildren.
I think he certainly instilled in all of us a great degree of wanting to care for others.
and share whatever talents we have with other people.
It's just amazing. It's beautiful. They've done an amazing job putting this together, and I can't wait to see the movie.
And you're in the movie, of course, you are Vanderlip.
That's right. I'm in the movie. I'm going to be very curious to see what I look like in a movie. The beautiful antique cars out front, and it's a beautiful room. And Vicki Mack's done an amazing job of bringing my grandfather to life.
Tonight is a fundraiser because we're rather new. Although the Historical Society originally was formed by me in 1975, it ran into hard times. And so on April 14th of last year, we reincorporated the original name. We negotiated to have all the artifacts transferred to the new Historical Society, and we're now looking at finding a place in order to show all those marvelous artifacts.
I never realized how much history there was behind Palos Verdes, and I've been through Palos Verdes a number of times and always just enjoyed the beauty, but now just knowing the background history, I can't wait to explore even more so.
What happens next? We're going to see this movie tonight. How will the rest of the world get to see your movie, The Moneyman?
Once we show the movie tonight, what we will be doing, we're sure, but we don't know for a fact, is selling it to a large TV channel, hopefully PBS or the History Channel.
The audience is in the Norris tonight and they're watching your work. What are you hoping?
I'm just hoping that they enjoy it. I'm hoping they learn something they didn't know. And I hope they come out going, gosh, he was a really great guy.
Of course, this evening is all about history in the making. So much excitement this evening right here on the red carpet. I asked the Vanderlip family, what would Frank say about this? And they said he would just be so happy to see the community coming together. I'm Liz Brown Swanson reporting for RPV TV.
To find out more about the documentary and the PV Historical Society, check out the Society's website at paloverdeshistoricalsociety.org. After photographing one World War II veteran, Thomas Sanders took a school project and turned it into a passion. Thomas realized there were many more stories to tell through photography. Thomas sat down with RPV TV station manager Mark J. Dottie to explain his artistic process.
I'm here in Rancho Palos Verdes at Belmont Village photographing mainly World War II veterans and also, Korean and some Vietnam vets to help preserve their past and, really to really try and create a greater appreciation for all veterans and soldiers. Each photo shoot results in a permanent gallery at Belmont Village, at a particular location around the country. And the goal is that when people see my photographs of the World War II veterans, that they become emotionally enthralled, right? But when they walk in and take a closer look, and there's a little piece of, there's like a quote or a short story of that veteran right next to the photograph, and then it's kind of this combining this art and history into the present moment. At Cal Poly, my senior year of college, I had a random homework assignment to take a portrait of somebody, and just coincidentally there was a retirement community around the corner from me, so I went over there and I said, do you have any interesting people to photograph? And they had this World War II hero, and his name was Randall Harris, and he told me this battle story how he was fighting in Italy, and he triggered an S-mine, and shrapnel came out and it hit him in his guts, and his guts started to come out of his stomach, and he took his canteen belt, he cinched it around his stomach, and he kept fighting. And hearing that story as a 21-year-old in college really helped put my life into perspective. And my grandfather was in World War II, and his brother died during the Battle of the Bulge. And so I heard all these war stories from my grandpa growing up, but nothing like into deep detail, And so once I photographed that first World War II veteran, it really helped put my grandfather's war experience and his brother's loss really into perspective. And so I just began photographing World War II vets in my free time. And that's in my book is called The Last Good War. And people always say, like, why is it called, no war is good and all that stuff. But it's really the one war in the 20th century and really American history where there's a very clear, definite good versus evil.
So what do you think of this experience today, what Tom is up to and documenting the pictures?
I think it's a very nice deal, very nice and elaborate. I'm amazed at all the picture taking.
Have you seen the result of the work downstairs?
I saw, yes, on the wall. Yeah, I've seen that, and that's very well done.
They took us, who had some background in Japanese, so that we could then be advanced to be more capable in translation. So yes, we had the fundamentals of learning the language, but not capable enough to read and then decipher or translate. And that they sent us to the military intelligence school to further our education.
Where were you before you were enlisted?
I was in the Manzanar camp. And Manzanar camp was one of about 10 camps that were set up by the U.S. government when President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 9066, which forced the Japanese Americans to be incarcerated in 10 different camps throughout the United States. And we were behind barbed wires with soldiers guarding us. So we were very proud that Congress recognizes their mistake and rewards us for what we've done. So it was kind of a makeup for all the things that we were overlooked on. Yeah.
You proved them wrong.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And in sports, Rolling Hills Prep is the only school in the South Bay who had 3 girls who received NCAA letters of intent to Division I schools for playing softball. Pretty impressive considering Rolling Hills Prep only has 260 students. Here's more on this incredible accomplishment. What is the biggest challenge playing softball and thinking about going to the next level like you did?
Right. Definitely going to a Division I school, that's pretty intimidating, but my older sister actually went, so you kind of get some inside information about like what to expect, conditioning the first day of school, and kind of balancing time management. So I'd probably say that was the hardest.
It's actually kind of funny, like when you're little you don't think about it until you reach like a certain age, then like showcases start and you're like, wow, I could actually go to college for this. So I don't know, when I was little I didn't think about it, of course, but once everyone else in my age group started thinking about it, I definitely knew that's what I wanted to do.
It's challenging making sure, you know, you're studying, doing all your homework, but at the same time going and practicing and making sure you're doing things on your own. And you just have to make sure you find the time. You can't really, you know, just slack or go hang out with your friends whenever you want. You have to make the time to finish and complete what you need to do.
We feel very fortunate that the girls decided that Rolling Hills Prep was the right place for them. Number one, we have an incredible coaching staff, so I think the girls recognize that even though they'd be going to a smaller school, they would get a really high quality coach and coaching staff working with them. And then needless to say, the academics here are outstanding, and the girls realize that softball can only take them so far, so they really needed to prepare themselves for the rest of their lives. So it was a great combination. So we just feel very fortunate that, you know, they took a chance on us, and we were able to kind of parlay it into a CIF championship and some Division I scholarships.
There's 3 of you from one school that all got letters. What was that like when you guys all got together to talk about, wow, we're actually going?
It was really funny because we're only a school of like 200 kids, so for 3 players to get D1 scholarships was awesome, and we're really proud of ourselves and of each other.
Caitlin and I actually played together when we were really little, and then I played with Juliana since I was little too. So growing up together and then all seeing us really compete against each other and now being on the same team, it's pretty great.
Finally, tell us where you're going for school next year.
I'm going to George Washington University in Washington, D.C. I'm really excited. It's going to be a huge change for me being in a totally new environment with people that I don't know. So I'm really excited though.
And finally, 'tis the season for traditions, and one community favorite is the annual tree lighting at the Terranea Resort. Here's a look at the festivities and that magical moment when the tree was lit.
Here we are, it's our annual tree lighting celebration of the season. We have over 90 performers here this evening. We have hot chocolate and apple cider that we're giving away along with cookies. We have children's activities. We have Mrs. Claus coming to pay a visit and carol singers around the resort. We have some very special guests from the Cancer Support Center who are here, the Ramos family, and they have magic wands which will hopefully light the tree.
I'm fortunate to be chosen by the cancer support community to represent all of our friends who are fighting cancer. We all belong to support groups at the cancer support community, and so we were so excited to be able to come and get to light the tree.
We are going to light up this tree.
2, 1, go! Happy holidays, everyone. The magic always works. This is year 7, if you can believe it, of our Terranea tradition. Everybody is full of holiday spirit. It's an exciting time. We have breakfast with Santa on December 19th. We have carol singing in the restaurants on Christmas Eve. So if you haven't made your reservation yet, please do. Come see us. Happy holidays.
And don't forget to stop by the Terranea Resort to see the tree and all the wonderful decorations to get you into the holiday spirit. And that will do it for us. From everyone here at the RPV TV family, we'd like to wish you a very happy holiday season.